because an hour is not so much time for a retrospective. So let's get it started. And what I would say is, if everyone can go to the sprint board. Does everyone have the agenda? The agenda's in the calendar. You could probably jump in there now, because you're going to need the link for the retrospective board in there. And let's screen share. Cool. So here's what I'd like us to do first, and it's just to we looked at this yesterday in our stewards call, and I think today we take 5 minutes and just look at Sprint 2, look at what was assigned to your working group, whether it was assigned to you or somebody else. Look at what's sort of filtered by your working group, and just in preparation for our reflections of what went well and what we could do better this sprint from an individual or group perspective. Have a look at what you planned, what you completed, and what you weren't able to complete, and what blockers there might have been, and like that. I am just going to give that like 2 minutes, actually, for everyone to do that.
Good morning, where I'm at. I'm just going to say I'm headed to the coast for some well-needed sanity. So if you call on me, I can't answer. I'm driving.
Good for you. That's awesome. Enjoy.
Okay. Does anybody want more time, or shall we jump into the board? Okay, this time I'm not on mute. Would anyone like 2 more minutes, or should we all jump into the board now? Okay.
What would we need?
Oh, I don't know. Just to think about the sprint and sort of prime your brain for looking at the work that we've committed to and everything that we've completed and haven't.
I just requested access. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why either.
Thanks. Sorry, it took me a minute to get there.
Okay, is everybody in the board? So the goals are just same as last time, to see, to celebrate the things that we think we did well individually or as a team in terms of the process as well. And then to look at what we could do better, what can be improved, and then to take some actionable items for that. There's votes on the what can do better and actions to improve, but there's no votes on the what went well. So we'll take 5 minutes and 4 minutes and get started on writing things that went well for this sprint. I don't see everyone. Yeah. I don't see everyone in there.
Did you get my request for access?
I just got it, and I just sent it to you.
Tam, do they have to be just the issues, or can it be anything related to the sprint?
It is anything, right? So what you felt you did good, anything about the process, anything about interactions, anything about the community, just things that you'd like to highlight as what went really well this sprint.
Okay.
All right, Jess, I hope you got it now.
Only things that went well, or also things that actions to improve?
No, in this one, it's only things that went well.
Okay. Okay.
In the board to the right is what we could do better, and then the last one will be actions. So this is really just really looking at what we did well, because we want to keep doing those things.
Okay.
1 minute left. Okay, cool. So time's up, and I think we'll have somebody read these for us. Eduardo, would you like to read them out for everybody?
Sure, no problem. So we have some calls are very focused and we sometimes end before the hour. Onboarding working group calls were better and clearer. Issues workflows was improved. Involving in other working groups. Great team work and support. I feel an improvement on the coordination and synergy between the working groups. Had shares onboarding. Managed to be present in the calls. TNC hack sessions. Twitter engagements way up due to more posts and Git Coin Ground collab and other events. Some calls, few calls ended earlier. Book club was finished. Got to use the praise system. Great communication.
Can I interrupt just for 1 minute? We don't need to sort these. These we just read. We're not going to vote on them.
Yes, I'm not.
But thanks, Jake. No, I see Jake's sorting them, so they're moving as you're reading them. But we don't need to sort this board.
Great communication between stewards. Good collaboration. Working group 0 is amazing. Very interesting conversation. Gravity training is a success. TEC narrative is much more clear. Many initiatives happen in parallel. Morale is high. Coordination with other working groups. I feel an improvement on the coordination and synergy between working groups. The streaming of the DAO is going very well. We are very patient with each other. We got a heck of a lot done, tracking pretty close to our roadmap, a few unavoidable delays. All working groups are on track for Hatch, mostly. So much better using the springboard this sprint. Kudos to Zero Omega for the fascinating weekly. New members joining, a lot of new people, new contributors like Nate and Metaverde taking active roles, and new contributors stepping up. That's it.
Awesome. I'm going to pass to everyone. I just want to hear what you guys think about this. So pass to you, Jess. Let's try to just keep it like under a minute.
I agree with everybody, and it's cool always on these boards to see like how many people are kind of having the same thoughts, and there's kind of clusters. So I think it's a really good sign. And I'll pass to Zeptimus.
Yeah, I feel like doing those exercises together, that's what brings more coordination between us. So I think that's awesome. And I'll pass it to Santi.
I love to see that the general feeling is the same that I have. I feel great. That's all I can say. I'll pass it to Tam.
Did you pass it to
Libby?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this feels really good. I feel like my life is a mess this week, so it feels grounding to see all of these very positive comments here. And I'll pass to Metaverde. Oh, maybe she's driving. So I'll pass to Juan.
Personally, I really liked that we finished the book club, because when we finish something, it's you have this feeling of like realization, and to finish that, and it's a very difficult book and a very long book. I think it was really good, and I also have loved that we have done terms and conditions hack sessions. And I know it's not a perfect document, and maybe it will never be, but it's a good document, and I think it's good enough for our purpose to start. So I am happy about the project. Anyone missing?
Eduardo or Jake?
Yes, I can take it from there. Thanks, Juan. Yeah, like someone mentioned before, I do feel we are on the same page, and I'm actually enjoying the workflow that we have now. I feel it's quite nice and organic, and for me, it's a learning experience, and I appreciate everyone's empathy and helping on that. So I feel it's I just feel like it's the coordination that we have now. It has improved a lot on this sprint, and yeah, so I will pass it to Jake.
Yeah, I've been very pleased with the cooperation and the communication. The teamwork we are pursuing is fantastic. You really can't ask for a lot more from other people with so many different agendas and their own plans. The coordination of it has been great. I just see a great catalyst for a lot of future, and it's been really rewarding. Because a lot of the problems with communication is if people are doing it because they want to or they need to. And we really do like seek each other out in a right way. It's just genuinely positive, and it's very encouraging to moving forward and actually working together, especially for when we have hard things come up in the future. I also want to take this opportunity to give Santi a quick praise and thank you, because your catch in the requirements, dude, allowed me to run it in my lab, because I couldn't do it. And YGG was like, I don't know what's wrong. I was like, well, something's not working. You caught it. So thank you.
Cool. I'll take it back. And I just want to echo the sentiments that everyone has said. First of all, as a team, the respect and integrity we work with and have for each other is off the charts. And it's really cool. And it's really cool to see that, like Santi said, we're all feeling the same thing, and we have a forum to share it. And to what Livia said, I'm just going to do a little personal moment where I show you the, life is a mess. I don't know if you can sort of see, like, this is the situation here now. And it's like, I'm sitting on boxes. We don't have chairs. Like Marshall McLuhan said the media was the message. And I'm saying, like, the boxes are the furniture. Like, where it's a life is a mess. I feel it with you. Okay. So we have 40 minutes, and the next section will be, to really be introspective and inspect what we could do better. This is not, to point fingers, to feel shame or anything, or to feel bad about it. It's just, it gives us an opportunity to improve anything that we think we see that could happen in a better way next time. So same thing, I'm going to set a timer for, let's see, 5 minutes. And everyone feel free to put your input into the could do better column now.
So I pulled over to input on this. Is it okay if I just say real fast?
Go ahead, Meta. I'll type it in for you.
Thank you. So I'm not saying that anybody else needs to do better at this, but especially with new people, it's super important that even if you don't have time to talk to them, that you get back to them right away. And it is really, really hard. Like, I just found a message on my LinkedIn a year and a half ago from somebody who I really need as a contact and I actually like. And it's been a year and a half. That's one thing, is just like getting back, especially to new people right away, even if all you're saying is, I can't talk right now, I'm so sorry, give me a few days and I'll get back to you. Even if tag me if I don't, even if you just say that, that's great. And then like, one of the things that I've been complimented on a lot is my ability to explain blockchain to people who don't have a clue about it, and to like help with MetaMask. So if you have people that are having issues with that or installing XDAI chain, feel free to send them my direction. The best place to reach me is on Discord. And I will cheerfully pick that up. So because I have heard from a couple of people that they felt really lost as far as, like, what do I do with the wallet? And, well, from one person, what do I do with the wallet? I didn't know. Nobody's explaining this to me. Blah blah. Well, not blah blah. It's not blah. And so I am more than happy to explain to people. You can send them my way. I know everybody's. If people are interested, I'm happy to blockchain and MetaMask.
Cool. I wrote them down. It sounds like that could be a workshop that you have.
I would, yeah. Okay, good idea. Thank you. All right, and I'm driving again. Thank you so much.
Safe travels.
I'm in a Subaru, all-wheel drive.
All right, cool. Time's up. Let's have another person read it. Jess, would you read What Can We Do Better to everybody?
Sure. Okay. 5 minutes between calls that end and start together would be fantastic. Keeping praise and intros and calls and meetings to 15-minute max. Making sure we onboard new members that pop into calls with the list Livia made. Keeping time, space for organic sharing in our stewards call. One meeting to be not so focused on an outcome, agenda, or GitHub. I feel more hack sessions could be nice. Time invested on onboarding proposals. Pay more attention to processes. Be more focused on meetings. Getting to know more and interact more with the community. Better self-management between introspective work that has to be done and attending to calls. Spreading the word about TEC weekly AMA. Dish praise right after meetings. Making smaller issues and finishing them. Increase the working group members to finish tasks on time. Onboarding support for new members. Working with contributors more one-on-one. Remembering the social side of the work and budgeting time for that. Sprint planning even more realistic, plan only what is highly likely to be completed. More meme production. Focusing on fewer things and getting them done. Hack sessions, committing to less. I could be promoting more effectively and engaging on Twitter. Engaging the community more about what I'm doing. Visibility, there's a lot of progress here, but being able to see working group weekly progress without having to join a weekly call would be ideal. Agree, we discussed highlights from meetings but never executed. Would be great to have bullet point reports in Stewards channel. Getting back to new people right away. More 1-on-1 to 3 outreach. The time it takes to schedule meetings is my main blocker to onboarding more hatchers. How can this be easier to do? Helping people new to blockchain and MetaMask, Metaverde volunteers to train them.
Cool. Now this one I do need help organizing into different groups. If those of you that are great at it can help do that, maybe we'll take 1 minute to do that.
For the more focus on meetings, does that mean more focus in meetings? Or whoever wrote that?
Can
Means
you?
it means to put your glasses on. It means to put your glasses.
Just mean like when you're inside of a meeting, the meeting should be more focused, or should we focus as a community more on meetings? I assume.
Oh no, no. It means that I should be more focused on meetings, on the sense of being more present during the meeting sometimes.
So like more focus on preparing for the meeting, like to make it an organized, focused meeting. I'm still trying to like give it some more meat because I don't know where to put it. All right.
No, it's about being more present in the meetings. Like when people come in and be aware of when people just join and acknowledge that and being with the agenda more on point and so on. It's about being more on point.
Okay. Well, it seems like there are certain themes that are grouped. One has to do with improving our process for meetings, dishing praise, keeping the meetings to a time box that allows people space in between the meetings to do things instead of going back to back to back, which has come up more than once. And remembering the social side. Committing to less on our sprints and focusing on fewer things and getting fewer things done. Yeah. This grouping is around sort of like onboarding and engaging community and being available to community. So I feel like that's another. Jessica, that was cute. So
sorry.
It's okay. So no, it's great. It's fantastic. So cool. Okay, now we'll take 2 minutes and we will find these little pink stars and put 2 stars on your group, but specifically the one that you think is the most important for us to fix. So if you can put it on one Post-it note.
Sorry, Tamara. Sorry, I jumped in late. Can you show me the link to the Miro board?
Yeah, if you go to the calendar, there will be the sprint retrospect. Well, actually, I'm just going to send this to you right now. It's on the agenda, but fastest would be if I just send it to you now. Oh la la. Sorry about this.
Thank you.
Looks like I know what we're doing on Fridays, Jake.
It's the power of the meme.
Let's start a meme party every Friday.
I tried to make like 3 a day and now I fell behind. I'm not engaging my meme Twitter audience.
Quality over quantity. We'll do it together. I'll do the words and you can do the pictures.
Deal.
And Griff is really good at memes. I feel like I know you're busy, Griff, but maybe you could come for 1 week. Or every 2 weeks, 1 per sprint.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So
Fine. I'll come. I do love my one-liners. I can't help it.
okay. So yes, Jessica called it. The clear winner is oh, sorry, Marco. I will fix that for you now. The clear winner is the meme factory. Okay, awesome. I think that one's going to be an easy one to brainstorm on actions to improve that. And then we have a lot of support here for focus on fewer things and getting them done. Okay. Some other ones is visibility. Oopsie. There's a lot of progress here, but being able to see working group weekly progress without having to join a call would be ideal. I do think so. And okay. So the next step is that we go to the actions to improve section, and we write down actions that we can take in this sprint that can help us with what we can do better. Main focus should be on the most the clear winners. But if you feel compelled and inspired to add something else that you think we can do better, do add it. And I'll set a timer for 5 minutes. Okay, cool. It looks like we have a lot of, or I should say, it looks like most of the writing has stopped. So we can have another guest reader. Marco, would you like to read out the actions to improve for all of us?
Yes, I will. Okay. Make memes as I go. Hold on. As I go and not plan. Dedicated time for team meme production. So this is all about memes. Meme party Fridays. New Discord has meme channel. Regular stewards meeting. No GitHub. More time for sharing. One steward owns onboarding new members. Meeting touch points with bullet points. Big news posted on steward's channel right after meeting. Dish praise, then post bullet points right after meeting. Participation in other groups. This one is nice. More social time. Improve welcoming to new members. Share information and spread the word about welcome to the tech call. Due dates on issues and accountability to close them on time. Maybe social could be combined with hack sessions, hanging out, voice channels while working, helping more on the onboarding process. Make a meme for the AMA call. Another meme. Start calls at XXX5, so like not top of the hour. Have a realistic look on the time of calls against time to do work and plan the sprint accordingly. Commitment on the tasks we take. It's better to take less and do more than the other way. Experiment with taking on only a few issues next sprint. The issue is critical to the hatch. Putting things on the board with an expectation of will you get done this week instead of this sprint. Increase availability to unblock fellow member. All right, I think that's it.
Okay, excellent. So I think it's worth us having a few minutes of discussion before we vote on these. So let's start with the meme. I think these are pretty self-evident. By the way, I love this idea of a like Friday party, meme party on Discord. And then the regular stewards meeting, no GitHub, like an arrow through my heart, whoever wrote that. And more social time, maybe socially be combined with hack sessions, hanging out in voice channels while working. Yeah, so that's around our stewards call. You know, I'm thinking about that, and I'm trying to find balance between having it be a call where we get vibes with each other versus a call where we actually can sort of track and advance progress. And I'm still looking for the right combination. So the feedback is super useful and super helpful. Thank you. And more social time as well. I think that I also really feel like that's true too. I feel like there are some calls like the SoftGov call and, you know, where there is that sort of social bonding aspect to it, which I really like a lot. Would anyone else like to comment on that or on the memes? Okay, then I'll move on.
Well, I guess just one quick thing. Sorry, on the stewards meetings, I just want to see if I'm understanding. I thought the discussion was that every other week would be like the sprint planning. So the alternate weeks would be more of like kind of what we used to do, of more like organic sharing or like supporting each other and how people are feeling a little more than like focused on the agenda. But I'm not sure how that is going, but I guess we're still like figuring it out. But is that what was the intention, or?
I think that maybe there's more than one vision for it. So I think that we could find a nice combination of the two, frankly, where there is, you know, sharing of, you know, what our responsibilities and our experiences are as stewards, and also time to really share the progress of our group. I don't think we need to do one with the exclusion of the other, and I think we're still looking for the right balance. But I also, you know, I've also sort of thought it'd be nice for us to do some more, maybe, I don't know if it's monthly or some exercises as the stewards, in addition, you know, where we have a workshop where we'll do something together. Anyway, it's an idea, but not for right now. Okay, the next section is stewards owns new members. Okay, one steward owns onboarding new members, improving the new welcoming and helping more on the onboarding process. I think that's a great one, actually. Does anybody want to comment on that?
I think I think that's key, and it also relates to what Meta Verde said, that I don't think we realize how important that is. I'm doing one-on-one meetings this week with 2 potential new members that we really need, especially on the legal working group, and I can see her point of view. You know, she's trying to bring new people in, and she gets in touch with her contacts and her network. And we need to deliver when she brings them in. I mean, there is no way someone may be pushing through their network, and then we leave those guys for a couple of 3 or 4 days without giving an answer. I understand that we are busy, and sometimes that could happen, but we should put something together to avoid that. Because just a quick answer saying, "Hey, I'm busy for a couple of days. Let's meet in, I don't know, this date or whatever. Or let's find a good day, or jump into the next onboarding meeting." Or I think we should have a process in place that we all share, and that it's easy, and it shouldn't be that hard to do. But it's really important. A new member jumps into something that's unknown, and leaving them first. It's a respect for that one on the group that's pushing to their network to bring someone new, and second, you know, you need quick feedback when you jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lydia?
I agree that it's so important. I'm not a fan of the idea of having just one person responsible for onboarding, because I think it's huge. It would be heavy for just one person. But I agree with Santi. Maybe one practical thing to do would be sharing best practices of onboarding. Like, I bet each one of us already had so many experiences with onboarding, and we could have a session to talk about this and then understand what are the best practices from what we already have.
I agree on that, and I think we unconsciously recognize this and work towards that with the conversation I had with Lily the other week, and she created then the call on Wednesday. I think unconsciously we were looking for this answer to the situation, and we started on it. And I think now that we have verbalized it, it will be easier to tackle. And as Lily mentioned, I agree it's too much for one single person to onboard people. But I think we are moving towards finding a solution for this.
I think having
And I think with the sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. I go after.
Oh, sorry, Zepti. I was going to say you go, but the new Discord, I think, will help us with this, that we could have a volunteer team, maybe an additional role, not stewards, because the stewards are pretty busy, but we have like moderators that will also act as people that support onboarding, kind of like OneHive does, and you can give them a special color so that people can reach out and know who they are. So that's one thing. And I had written one person own it. I didn't necessarily mean one person do all the onboarding, but the one person that, as Griff always says, is like looking out for this, that is poking people like, hey, I don't have time. Can you onboard so-and-so? And kind of like being the racy, as you call it, Tam, like the responsible one. Sorry, Zepti.
Yeah,
Responsible.
I was going to say the same. Like having a small group with a role, that's a fantastic idea.
I have a feeling this one's going to be voted on quite high.
And I just want to pop in too with moderators on Discord. You also can give them certain permissions, so you can have certain moderators be able to do other things over different moderators. So like you can have a trust level even within that of what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, I may just jump in here. Yeah, regarding the roles, we'll probably assign those roles, but we need to first figure out the onboarding journey. To me, like this sounds more like this sounded like traditional sales process where someone brings people in, and then someone else takes over. And as Santi said, like it's our responsibility, and then out of the respect of everyone who's working hard to bring someone in. So I guess first we need to figure out the process, and then it's easy to assign people and figure out the roles. and then glue all this together.
Okay. So the retrospective is not the place to find the solutions to these actions, but rather just to express. And this was a great conversation, and I think it highlights the importance of this. But I want us to keep moving with our last 8 minutes. And I think what will end up happening is we will probably, go ahead.
I just want to say we're talking about onboarding, but we have this, and I kind of just late, but maybe we need to rename the group and give space for onboarding. I suggested Hatch Outreach.
Okay.
We can bring that up in another call,
Yeah.
I guess, because Griff had the same thought. So I can take it on in the comms working group next week or the next stewards call.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. I think it makes sense in the stewards since it's a working group. Okay. So, meeting touch points with bullets, big news posted in stewards channel right after the meeting, dish praise, then post bullet points right after the meeting, which is probably impossible if the new meeting starts as the old meeting is ending, if they're bumping up against each other the way they are now. But otherwise, a great idea. Find a way to present updates on working group. Okay. Helping more in the onboarding process. Okay, so starting calls 5 minutes late or 5 minutes after the hour or ending 5 minutes before the hour. Commitment on the tasks we take. It's better to take on less and do more than the other way around. Putting things on the board with the expectation of this will get done this week instead of this sprint. Okay. Experiment with taking on only a few issues next sprint, the critical to hatch issues, due dates on issues and accountability to close them on time. Increase availability to unblock fellow members and have a realistic look on the time of calls versus time to do work and plan the sprint accordingly. Okay. All right. Without going into too much discussion on this, unfortunately, let's take the time, unless anybody has a very strong desire to speak on any of these in particular. Otherwise, I'll suggest with the last 4 minutes, 6 minutes, we vote on the next actions that we think are most important for our group.
Tamara, how many stars can I pick?
2 stars. Everyone gets 2 stars.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'm starting to see motion slow down, but I'll give a few more minutes for anyone who hasn't had the chance to vote on 2 issues. Okay, has anyone not voted? Please voice if you have not. Okay, so we have some cool clusters. Okay, so improve the new member process. Awesome. Definitely great. Rename the onboarding working group to Hatch Outreach. More social time. And And I feel like these groups are probably all for the meme production factory, even though they're spread out a little bit. Starting or working on the amount of time for our calls. Okay, so this is the clear winner. And then we have some like ties for second place. So I don't know which one. So this is one I think we definitely bring into the sprint, into sprint 3, which we'll be planning tomorrow. And for the rest, I would say for this sprint, we take in that one and we look at the other, we look at this in the stewards working group. And that doesn't need to be something that could be something we add as an agenda to the group. And perhaps maybe it makes sense for you, Jess or Marco, to add an issue for having more memes. And for this one, do we dare take on this ending calls 5 minutes early? Is that something we think is realistic to start in the next sprint?
I think that there is like some calls. It's really hard to end the call today 5 minutes early. That's for sure. I put a star on this, by the way. But the Thursday call, we need that 5 minutes. But I think it would be really nice to aspire, especially when you know that there's a back-to-back call, to aspire to that.
Okay, cool. So these will be the 2 aspirational for the sprint, and we will try our best to do it. For improve the new member journey, I will open an issue and then we can work out who will take ownership of that in our sprint planning tomorrow, maybe. And then for the other ones, let's open issues for making more social time and try to figure out when we can plan that into a sprint. Maybe it's not the sprint, maybe it's the one after. Does that sound good for everybody? Cool. And we're a minute early. I did my best. I didn't give you 5, but I got you 1. All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks, Sam.
It's always great.